Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Bass coming at you with a kind of a half speculation, half Warcraft discussion video. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. We're going to discuss some of the morally gray outcomings of the upcoming war in the Battle for Azeroth and a little bit of speculation that I have on it. I mean, it seems as though a lot of these morally gray bits aren't actually happening. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I understand that Sylvanas blighted the Horde and the Alliance both during the Battle for Lordaeron. I understand that it seems as though she was just mercilessly burning and killing all these Night Elf settlements and everything in this matter. But it's not quite so black and white. I mean, we have evidence that when you compare the Horde and the Alliance quest lines, that it seems like there's a bit of a deprecated disconnect, where it feels like the Alliance quests are trying to demonize the Horde, while the Horde quests are trying to demonize the Alliance. But here's where the kicker is. They don't... Most of the events that are being claimed to have happened from the opposite side, like the Alliance, there's events in the Alliance quests that are being claimed that the Horde have done that haven't happened. That none of this happened during the Horde questline, and we have no evidence of it actually taking place. It seems like maybe there's some kind of outside influence into these morally gray differences. I mean, on another topic entirely, I feel like the whole demonizing of Sylvanas is pretty subjective. Look, Solso Breezy made a really good point in one of his videos. And I mean, in a little bit of a messed up way, he compared Sylvanas' use of the Blight or like the standard of chemical weapons with a whole bunch of different things that are considered okay. Like, Death Knights are okay, but chemical weapons aren't, and stuff like that. And then he has this little robot in his videos named Bob, and Bob gave a surprisingly insightful look of drawing the line of resurrecting people and giving them their lives back and giving them a second chance of life as being one thing, but then like desecrating their souls and forcing them into servitude in their undeath, kind of like what happened with Sylvanas and with Syndragosa, is not okay. And I mean, yeah, but that's where the interesting thing is about World of Warcraft, guys. It feels like what we would usually consider to be morally dark in our world doesn't have quite the same repercussion basis as it would in a place like the World of Warcraft. I mean, it is a fantasy universe, yeah, and it seems like everybody's got a whole different bit of standards for what they think of, you know, what that means in a way. Like, let me think of another good example. Actually, this Death Knight example is a pretty solid one. Okay? When the Death Knights were resurrected, they were brought back by the Lich King to be brought into servitude of him, and not to like relive their lives in another chance and another opportunity to do so, like Sylvanas does. But they broke free. I mean, that is also kind of the story of the Forsaken, but as it's gotten later on, and especially since the Cataclysm revamp, the starter quests for the Forsaken have changed quite a bit. In a matter that now Sylvanas with her Valkyr are resurrecting new Forsaken to continue the growth of her people and to continue the growth into her army. So, I mean, Sylvanas isn't really a Lich Queen, is she? I mean, what she's doing, what she's giving these people a chance at is life again. Like, I mean, we have a lot of evidence of this in the Before the Storm novel, because they give these Forsaken, they give the Desolate Council a chance to like meet again, like because they'd all said goodbye, they'd mourned, they'd grieved, they'd gotten over it, but they're giving them another chance to see each other, to, I mean, not really feel their warmth, because, you know, they're dead, but to hear their voice and to feel their presence again, you know. So I feel like what Sylvanas, in a lot of ways, is a really good thing, because again, you know, previous to the Cataclysm revamp, after the Lich King was defeated, she had an entire change into her outlook on the world, into her outlook on her life existence. Because previous to this, her entire goal was to defeat the Lich King and all the Forsaken with her, because all the Forsaken that existed previous to that were members to the Scourge and had broken free. So with breaking free like that, I mean, they get vindictive. They were forced into a servitude that they didn't want anything to do with, and forced into doing horrific, dark, devastating things. And that also turned a lot of them bitter, hence the entire issue with the Wrathgate, with High Apothecary Putris claiming victory in the name of the Forsaken. I mean, there's so many things. The Forsaken themselves, in a lot of ways, are the gray side of the black and white that everybody sees between the Horde and Alliance. The Forsaken, they don't have morals as much as they have instincts. They are here to survive. They're here to do their thing and to, I'm not going to say continue on with their lives, because the way I was putting that earlier made it seem like they would get another chance at it, but they won't, because the Alliance denied them the way that they did, and now Sylvanas is giving them a chance to be themselves. I feel as though the Forsaken, in a way, are their own faction without being their own faction. That they are that kind of lovable yet really, really gruff, really harsh fiends that are just, they're there. There's nothing you can do about it. They're part of it now. There's a couple of other morally gray points that I would like to look at, like Garrosh. I mean, you know, there's the whole meme that Garrosh did nothing wrong, but I kind of agree with that point. I feel as though Garrosh was forced into that position because what he did wasn't considered wrong by his people. I mean, look at the Hordes who stuck with Garrosh throughout his campaign of, quote, you know, destruction and devastation that was supposedly seen by everybody else. Most of them were Horde loyalists, like General Nazgrim. He's a great example of this. Lore-wise, he's one of the most honorable and sensible orcs that, like, you know, ever made it onto Azeroth and ever survived and continued on Azeroth. Of course, bar, you know, something like Barrock Sourfang. I mean, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here, but it isn't. Garrosh didn't do anything as bad as it seems, because he ran the Horde like an orc would run the Horde. I mean, Harumared, he made a fantastic video on the whole Garrosh did nothing wrong thing. I mean, I feel like it was maybe a bit of an April Fool's joke, but there's a couple of other content creators out there like myself who agree on the point that maybe there was a little bit of something different that could have been looked at differently, on top of the fact that Thrall broke the rules of Mak-Ra during his fight with Garrosh at the beginning of Warlords of Draenor by using magical effects. Because last time I checked, the rules of Mak-Ra required no body armor and one weapon, no magic use allowed. I mean, look at the Warcraft movie. During the Warcraft movie, when Gul'dan started to try to use his magic during the fight, they restrained him and stopped him. They called him dishonorable. They stopped following him. I mean, Durotan fell to this, yeah, but Gul'dan fell because of that mistake. So why didn't the same happen to Thrall? Why did everybody just decide that that was the right thing to do? Now, to close this off, there's a whole lot more morally gray points within the World of Warcraft that need to be analyzed. And on this channel, we're about to start rather detailed analyzing it. In fact, on my next video, I'm going to really heftily analyze this whole Garrosh did nothing wrong meme that everybody seems so enthralled by and keeps laughing at. So stay tuned and keep up with my videos if you want to see the way that turns out. Alright guys, if you made it to the end of this video, first of all, I want to thank you so much for sticking around to the end. And I really appreciate all your guys' feedback down in the comment section. I've taken all of it and I've looked through it all very heavily, and I've listened to almost all of it. I've been trying to improve a whole lot on this type of free discussion video content, and I really hope that improvement has shown in this video, because this was my first attempt to show you guys the difference. Anyways, as usual, if you like this video, leave a like. If you support what I'm all about, hit that subscribe button and notification bell down below. If you want instant channel updates and, you know, links to my videos when they come out, especially since YouTube's kind of screwed up this whole notification bell concept, you can follow me on Twitter. The description will be down below. As always, the most important part of all, leave a comment down below with all your thoughts and opinions on what I have to say. Community's everything to me, guys. Don't forget, I'll be on stream with Soul So Breezy tomorrow, Wednesday the 27th, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard or 12 p.m. Pacific Standard. Come stop by. Remember, all questions are welcome. Thanks for watching, guys, and be safe.